knife throwing. You guys want to see how I get a knife out? So yeah, since it's summer break, I figured I'd show you guys a slightly different training style. Just you know, some things I really like doing that I generally don't have a chance to do, but since I'm home right now, I have access to my target. A whole bunch of different knives. Today I'm throwing these bad boys. So you can see we've got a bigger one and a smaller one. Bigger one's close to like 9 inches or so. Smaller one obviously much less, maybe like 7. Also, maybe you'll learn a little something about how to throw a knife, because I feel like Hollywood makes it extremely unrealistic. Alright, so first of all, any throwing knife setup, you're gonna need obviously your knife and a target. So you can learn by throwing into wood or a tree or something really hard like that. The problem you're gonna have though is, first of all, it could damage your knives a lot easier. Second of all, it's really freaking loud. Example. And that's a quiet one. So what I'm using right now is a foam target. It's about 1.5 inches thick. Bought it off Amazon. I think it was like 50 bucks maybe. I've also used like some foam mats and stacked them on top of each other. So I'd recommend getting something soft so it's a lot quieter. So even if your blade hits flat, it doesn't make a loud noise. Of course, that one's stuck and I was actually trying to just make some noise. So a couple things you should know about throwing knives before you actually start doing it. First of all, it's not that easy, okay? Think about it. You have the tip of your knife needs to land tip first into the target to actually stick, right? Boom. If you land handle first, or any other point along the knife aside from the tip, it's just gonna smack and fall. So if you just blindly throw it, you have maybe out of a 360-degree rotation, a window about this big to actually stick into the target, all right? All the rest of this circle means it's not gonna stick. So you have like maybe a 10% chance of blind throwing and having it stick. It's not a lot. So the best thing you can do is pace out your target steps when you're first starting to learn. So right now, I'm really close to the target. It's probably only gonna take a half rotation. Let's check it out. I did not even mean for that one to stick. I was just trying to scare away the bee. Look at how nicely that one stuck in. Perfect. Perfect. Could not be more level. There's the bee right there. Best thing to do is when you're learning, start up really close. We're gonna start with a half rotation. So if I hold it by the blade and I'm releasing, it's only gonna rotate about halfway and stick into the target. So you gotta be pretty close, obviously, if it's a small knife. So I'm starting here. Boom. Now the further away you get, obviously it's gonna rotate more. So the next step would be take a step back. Now I'm gonna hold it from the tip. Now it should rotate about a full rotation. There it is. Or I'm sorry, that is only a half rotation, but you understand what I'm saying. All right, so a lot of learning how to throw knives is pacing out your distances. And of course, this depends on the size of the knife too, because for that instance, I was using this, which is, I don't know, maybe about 7 inches or so, compared to if I used a bigger knife, right? This one has another 1.5 inches or so. This is like almost a 9-inch blade here. If I threw this, it's gonna rotate at a different rate than this one, because it takes up more space. Let's see if I can make it from here. Booyah! Not very centered, but we got a quick scope. And yeah, basically the best way to get better and worry about not having to count your paces and stuff is just by practicing. Practice with the same exact knife. Get your technique down. Once you get your technique down so it's consistent, you know, the amount of extension you have, the amount of wrist flick you have, you know, the gripping, the position in your hand, stuff like that. Once all that's consistent, it'll make it way easier to have consistent distancing. And then once you practice that a bunch, you won't even need to measure it. You can kind of eyeball it and you should know, all right, it's a half rotation from here, it's a full rotation from there. Make sense?
Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me.
Alright, so something else that I'm also really into is archery. So I actually have 2 types of bows. I've got a compound bow, This is the first one that I bought. I was like 15. First thing that I ever bought with a paycheck for my first job. So, yeah, just a very normal looking compound bow. I'm not super far away right now. We got the target set up over there. I honestly haven't shot this thing in, I don't know, a couple of years probably. Let's give it a whirl. Whew. Not my best shooting, but it's alright. I don't remember what the drawback weight is on here, but if you guys have never shot a bow, compounds are nice because you pull it all the way back and it just kind of locks out. So you're not like constantly holding tension on it. It just locks at the end and you just let go whenever you're ready. Let me try one more. Alright, that was a little better. Now what I also have is a recurve bow. This is the much more traditional bow. I almost got a longbow when I bought this, but longbows are freaking huge. This thing still is almost as tall as me. I'm 5'7". This is like probably 5'4". But this one, obviously, much more like what you see in the movies, but you gotta hold the tension the entire time. In my opinion though, this is a lot more fun to shoot, because I feel like it takes a bit more finesse, but let's try it out. Oh, fuck. Stepped on a nut. It's alright. It's probably a very dangerous idea here, but I have the camera sitting on top of the target. This is it. I want to get like a cool first person shot here. So I'm going to do my best to not shoot the camera and aim low to hit the target. Let's see how it comes out. Alright, mission success. We didn't break my $1,000 camera.